Hello guys, my name is Clara Veronica Hutapea. I will continue the presentation in the two chapters about the animal and the environment. Animals in the environment. Here are the links or interaction between animals and their environment include the concept of habitat and niche, adaptation and limiting factor, research for animal life, and animal adaptation. 1. The concept of habitat and niche. Habitat or living quarters is a geographical unit that effectively support the survival and reproduction of a species or individual species. Within this habitat or living creatures and antibiotic factor interact with one another to form a complex unit called the habitat above. Other organisms include other individuals of the same species or other population that may consist of virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, plants, and other animals. Abiotic factors of a habitat include creatures or inanimate objects such as water, soil, air, as well as physical, chemical factors such as temperature, humidity, air quality, as well as geometry aspect of landforms that make it easy for animals to find food, rest, lay, egg mate, care for children, live socially, and other activities. There is other term microhabitat which is often used to describe smaller geographical areas or need or small scales by organism or population. Microhabitat is often also interpreted as a smaller habitat or part of a large habitat. From example, a pallet tree in a forest can provide microhabitat for insects that are not found in other forest habitat. The fallen tree. Microenvironment is everything around the organism. 2. Adaptation and limiting factor. Animal response to change in environmental factor is considered as an animal strategy to adapt and to survive. Each animal will show its adaptation strategy, which is an important factor for the survival. The environment acts as a strength to select the population that live in it. Only populations that are able to adapt both morphic, physiological, and behavioral adaptation will be sustainable, while those more are unable to adapt must move to an environment that suits their needs, or if they don't move, they will die. Environmental factors that limit the organism's life are referred to as limiting factors such as environmental temperature, salinity, humidity, and so on. Based on its effect on the life of the organism, the limiting factor has a range of minimum value. The organism's first response to environmental change is ecophysiology and can be very different in its type or organism. It could both animal poikiloterm as diseases decrease or increase in air temperature will be followed by decrease or increase in the metabolic rate of the body. Conversely, in warm blood animals, homotherms and decrease in air temperature will actually increase the body metabolic rate to maintain body temperature. Kennedy said classifies response into 5 types, namely pseudo, lethal, directed, controlling, and device. 1. Pseudo modification of the influence of a factor by other factors. 2. Lethal. 3. Resource for animal life. All the needs of life or resource for animals are met from the environment. The environment is all the elements and factors that are outside the animal body. In the concept of ecology, we know the term habitat, which in the dwelling place of living things are the support and organism to grow and develop optimally. This is because the habitat provides all the resources needed by the organism to fulfill all its needs. Very important resources for animal organisms provided by their habitat include food, oxygen, place, and water. A. Food. Animals need energy to support all the body metabolic process and activities such as moving, foraging, digestion, maintaining body temperature, reproduction, growth, and other work. As explained before, based on the organism's ability to conflict or synthesize food, organisms are divided into two, namely 1. Automatous organism that is able to use energy from sunlight in the process of photosystem, which creates water and carbon dioxide into its simple sugar, or use chemical reaction to energy in synthesizing food. Photosynthesis occurs in plant, while chemosynthesis takes place in fungi. 2. Heterotroph organisms that are unable to synthesize their own food from inorganic compounds, so they 4. Animal adaptation. As explained early, animals will adapt to change in environmental factors by modifying morphology, physiology of their body, and behavior. This modification will change the range of environmental factors they change. This modification can be fast or slow depending on the modification. Morphological modification is much slower than physiological and behavioral modification, even obtained through an evolutionary process that takes millions of years. A. Morphology adaptation. Morphology adaptation is adaptation of animals to change in environmental factors by modifying the structure and shape or even the color of the external body part and the inner part. B. Adaptation to physiology. Physiological modification is done as an immediate response to change in environmental factor. This physiological modification is faster than morphological adaptation. See behavioral adaptation. The third form of adaptation is behavioral adaptation that animal can do immediately faster than physiological adaptation and morphological adaptation. This adaptation is the response that was first shown by animal in response to change in environmental factor. Okay guys, that is all from me about the material exposed in the second chapter about the animals and the environment. Thank you guys.
Everyone, my name is Deni Mardiana Harahap. I'm from Biologi Nondik A 2017. I'm here to convey material about ecosystem. Do you know what is ecosystem? Now I'm here to convey to you. The ecosystem is an ecological system formed by inseparable interrelationship between living things and their environment. Ecosystem can also be said as a whole and comprehensive order of unity among all elements of the environment that influence each other. Ecosystem is a combination of each biosystem unit that involves mutual interaction between organism and the physical environment, so that the flow of energy toward a particular biotic structure and material cycle occur between organism and inorganism. The sun as a source of an available energy. In ecosystem, organism is a community developed together with the physical environment as a system. In general, there are three types ecosystem, namely aquatic ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, and artificial ecosystem. 1. Aquatic or water consists for aquatic ecosystem is freshwater ecosystem, seawater ecosystem, estuarine ecosystem, coastal ecosystem, coral reef ecosystem, river ecosystem, deep sea ecosystem, and seagrass ecosystem. 2. Terrestrial or land. Nah, consists of tropical rainforest ecosystem, taiga ecosystem, tundra ecosystem, savanna ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, desert ecosystem, deciduous forest ecosystem, karst ecosystem, or limestone or cave. 3. Artificial. Nah, example of artificial ecosystem are dams, production, plantation such as teak and pine, agroecosystem in the form of rain-fed rice field, irrigates rice field, oil palm plantation, residential ecosystem such as cities and village, space ecosystem. Alright, thanks for listening. See you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, next I'm Dahryana Pratiwi. I will explain the material about population. Population is a group of individuals of the same species living in the same region at a particular time. Population above 1 has unique characteristics or attributes such as rate growth, age factor, sex ratio, and mortality rate. The first, population. Population are usually discussed by describing parameters or population attributes, which include population size, density population, individual distribution patterns, and population growth. Population size. Changes in population size are caused because of their factors, namely birth or natality, death or mortality, and individual displacement migration. Individual transfers include two events, namely the entry of individuals from the other place or immigration and exit individual to another place or immigration. Next, population density. Population density is the average number of individuals population in each unit area or volume. Population structure. Population structure. Individuals in a population can be grouped based on the certain attributes. For example, based on age group and gender. Next, individual distribution. Individual distribution patterns can describe the characteristic species or environmental characteristic. Several species of animals live within social groups. For example, small primates, elephants, and lions. So, the distribution pattern is determined by the characteristic of the species. Pattern, the distribution of individuals is also influenced by the distribution of food and population dynamics. There are two factors that control the dynamics of the population factors. The first is scale, a factor that depends on density. The influence of this factor is influenced by animal density. Factors include in this group include competition, predation, illness, and accident. The second factor is called a factor that does not depend on density or independence density, such as climate, weather, and natural disaster. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Icha Ulandari. I will continue the presentation in the fifth chapter about the community. The community. We can simply define community as a collection of interacting population. Community can be characterized in several ways. For example, described by prominent species or physical environment, desert communities, pond communities, deciduous forest community. There are two relationships in the community, namely, first is a neutral relationship. Within an ecosystem, there cannot be a 100% neutral relationship between individuals or between species. They live in one space and time, so the slightest style interact with each other. Examples of relationships that are considered neutral are between one individual tree and another individual tree 1 kilometer away. Although only a few of them still use the same resources. Second is a symbiotic relationship. A very close relationship, for example, in living together, between legume plant root with rhizobium bacteria, between fungi and tree roots, and the relationship between algae and fungi in lichen. Where is animal, from example, between cows and cowflails. Cowlies have an absolute dependence on the host. The relationship between parasite and host is usually species-specific. In symbiosis is divided into several symbioses, namely A. Mutualism. A symbiotic relationship of mutualism is a relationship between one individual and other individual of different species that are very close in nature, and the benefit of the relationship are obtained by both parties. For example, Komodo dragon, Varanus komodoensis, and bacteria in their saliva. Komodo dragon utilize bacteria that can cause death in the prey that is bitten, while bacteria get nutrient from the mouth of the Komodo dragon. B. Commensalism. Symbiosis of commensalism in the relationship between two individuals of different species with the benefit of only one party, while the other party does not benefit. For example, in a relationship between cows and heron, Bubulcus ibis, birds receive food because of the movement of cows that cause the movement of insects, frogs, and other animals, while cows don't benefit. C. Parasitism. Symbiosis of parasitism is the relationship between two individuals of different species with the profit gained by one party, while the other party suffers loss. The party that gains profit is called a parasite, while the party that loses is called the host. For example, pacet, ectoparasite with distribution in the mountain forest of Sulawesi. D. Amensalism. This relationship illustrates the symbiosis with one party harmed while the other party is disadvantaged and not disadvantaged. E. Predation. As explained in the discussion about predation in the future, predation is a predation even by a predator against prey. Example are python, Python reticulatus, natural, predator of Sulawesi black monkey, Macaca nigra, and bird causes Ailurops ursinus. In all from me about the material exposure in the 5th chapter about the community. Thank you.